ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. The Lagos State Police Command has dismissed one of the officers involved in the fatal shooting of football fan Kolade Johnson at a viewing center in Lagos. In addition to dismissal, Inspector Olalekan Ogunyemi has been handed over to the Criminal Investigation Department for prosecution after the sentence was handed down by the adjudicating officer, CSP India Apov. In a statement, the command's police public relations officer, Bala Elkana, says Inspector Ogunyemi and Sergeant Godwin Oji had been apprehended in connection with the shooting and subjected to an orderly room trial. The statement says, quote, Inspector Ogunyemi was found guilty of discreditable conduct by acting in a manner prejudicial to discipline and unbecoming of members of the force by shooting and killing Kolade Johnson, end of quote. However, the second officer, Sergeant Oji, was discharged and acquitted after he was found not guilty because there was no evidence linking him to the shooting. The campaign against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and other units of the Nigerian police force over human rights violations has gained renewed momentum in the past few days. The killing of Kolade Johnson at a football viewing center in Lagos is eliciting an outrage and the return of the call for the disbandment of the special unit of the police force. In this report, our correspondent, Pt.2, highlights activities of the special unit of the police and efforts made to check their excesses.
Shoot me.
A viral video of a Nigerian artist and his encounter with the police. Similar stories of illegal arrest, detention and extortion have also come up against members of the unit. After months of protest in different parts of the country, the call became loud enough, reaching appropriate quarters. In August 2018, the Cherry news came. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo directed the then Inspector General Police, Ibrahim Idris, to review the operations of the special unit. As part of the reforms of the squad, training, psychological screening were placed on the table.
Whether it's going to be local or international or national training, and also conduct psychological tests. Because some of us really, we need some kind of psychological training, screening.
When power changed hands in January this year, the new police boss made his own call.
The operation of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, which is currently centralized at the Force Headquarters, is hereby decentralized.
Months down the line, what has changed?
Clad in black, the friends and families of Kolade Johnson are already gathered here this morning. They say they're taking the protest to the police headquarters here at Obalende. The killing of Kolade Johnson has sparked the criticism of the police and also reignited the call for the end of SARS, SACS, and other special units of the police.
An obvious day of mourning for this group, a short procession to the police headquarters annex, but it appears they are not welcomed. Tempers flare, but as calm returns, they present their demands.
Kolade is a good boy. So many other people who had been brutally killed by these uniform men. Stop to SARS.
Your feeling is the feeling of every policeman that you are seeing here. Your feeling is the feeling of the IG. The IG is very concerned about mistakes by police officers.
As authorities promised that the police and other law enforcement agencies will conduct their operations in the strict adherence to the rule of law, it is not clear when the expected reforms will be implemented to avoid the more avoidable deaths. Pt.2, Channels Television News.
To examine this issue further, we're being joined live from our Abuja studios by our former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Emmanuel Ojukwu. Welcome to tonight's News at 10, Mr. Ojukwu. Now, this extrajudicial killing of Kolade Johnson is one too many, many would say. Why do you think the trend continues in spite of the outrage and condemnation that trails each incident?
Well, first of all, I think within the police force, both the high command and those being led, anytime a Nigerian goes down in the course of police activities, either by direct commission or an omission, the police is a minus to the image of the police. Because the job of the police is to protect life and property. So when a life that is entrusted to their care is now brought down by the very officers that ought to protect such a life, it gives cause for concern, not only for the general public, but to the police high command itself. And that is why you can find the instant case, the police did not spare anybody, it has never spared anybody who goes outside of the rules of engagement to use firearms illegally in an unauthorized manner. So in this case, you find the officer, somebody has been found wanting following the all-alone trial, and they may be sent to court to face a murder charge if other processes are completed. So the threat is not systemic. These are individual deviances, and when they do occur, I know the police hit such people very hard in line with the law.
Now, the former Inspector General of Police, the immediate past Inspector General of Police, had made a move, had been directed actually by the Vice President to reform SARS in the light of a previous set of incidents. But then with the return of, with the appointment of a new Inspector General of Police, it appeared as if the status quo was then returned. What exactly is required for a change in that police unit?
That may not be exactly the case. Police reform is an ongoing process. Every police leadership assesses the conduct of the men under their watch. They know where to dot the I's and cross the T's and where to make necessary changes. Because the police is a public service. And the police gauges the temperature of the public. As a responsive organization, it ought to think out its policies, its operations and strategies to meet the yearnings and expectations of the people. It still lies with the police to prevent crime. It lies with the police to arrest offenders and prosecute them. But these things must be done in line with the code of conduct. So every police administration has to keep making changes to meet the needs, security needs, safety needs of the people, so as to make the police remain relevant and useful to society. So what is going on is an ongoing process, and IG will come, he will keep reforming, not just SARS, but the entire system. Mind you, issue of training is germane in the issue of SARS. Training, attitude, motivation, emotional intelligence, and general conduct, professionalism. All these trainings have to be done in police colleges. So a lot of funds are required to make these trainings go on. The police has already been created by Nigerians to serve them, but they must serve them in line with the law. They will not do so except they are properly trained. There is a training deficit in the police, and that has to be addressed by Nigerians, and I'm happy that the Senate is looking at it now. I believe they may increase police funding, which may affect positively the quality of training you have in police institutions.
Thank you very much, former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Emmanuel Ojukwu. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. It's our pleasure to have you. Gunmen have shot dead the bursar of the Akure Diocese of the Anglican Communion, Mr. Gabriel Kola Abiodun. He was shot dead at the premises of the diocesan office of the church at the Alagbaka GRA in Akure this morning, shortly after returning from a New Generation Bank where he had gone to collect money meant for the church. His remains have been evacuated and taken to the mortuary by some policemen. The public relations officer of the Ondo State Police Command, Femi Joseph, confirmed the incident, saying the police have swung into action to apprehend the killers. He also appeals to members of the public to seek for police escort when they want to transfer large amounts of cash. And from that tragic story, we go to our Abuja studios where Linda Akiba is waiting. Good evening, Linda.
Good evening, Ladi. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has departed Abuja for Amman in Jordan to participate in the World Economic Forum on the Middle East and North Africa on the invitation of King Abdullah bin al-Hussein of Jordan. President Buhari will deliver an address at the opening of the plenary alongside King Abdullah and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He's also expected to join world economic leaders in an informal gathering at the King Hussein bin Talal Convention Center and hold bilateral meetings with some world leaders on the sidelines of the forum. The president will depart Amman on Sunday for Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to participate in the 9th edition of the annual investment meeting. He is also to deliver a keynote address on the theme Mapping the Future of Foreign Direct Investment and Reaching World Economies Through Digital Globalization. The meeting is the largest gathering of corporate leaders, policymakers, businessmen, regional and international investors, entrepreneurs, leading academics and experts, showcasing up-to-date information, strategies and knowledge on attracting foreign direct investments. The 4th edition of the Kaduna Investment and Economic Summit has ended with the assurance by the state governor, Mr. Nasir El-Rufai, that the state is open for business. Governor El-Rufai, who is speaking during the closing ceremony, gives the assurance that his administration will continue to implement the Ease of Doing Business Charter in order to simplify the processes of setting up investments.
Are you thinking in that direction?
It's day 2 of the Kaduna Investment Summit, and Governor Nasir El-Rufai is picking up from where he left off, persuading investors to make Kaduna State their choice for investment.
The Kaduna Geographic Information Service is still a project. It's not yet completed, but within the 3 years of operations, we have been able to deliver faster services. You get your certificate of occupancy within 30 days. You apply for land in Kaduna, you're sure to get it within 90 days. And this is all due to the computerization that we did at Kaduna Geographic Information Service. In 3 years, we have signed 20,000 new certificates of occupancy, which is a record of some sort.
Representing the Vice President is the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Industry, Trade and Investment Matters. She reels out more impressive records of Kaduna State.
Indeed, Kaduna State has witnessed unprecedented levels of improvement in the ease of doing business. The 2018 World Bank Subnational Index, which measures how well state government laws and regulations are designed for efficiency, transparency, accessibility, enforceability in courts, and easy implementation, ranked Kaduna State the leading state in the country. Kaduna recorded the largest, yes indeed, please, a round of applause. Kaduna recorded the largest jump by improving its score from 55 to 65.97 by making it easier to start a business, register property, and obtain construction permits in the state.
So what is the take-home for foreign participants? This investor gives tips on ways to connect the dots to achieve maximum results.
So what do we expect from a summit like this? I think it's important that we facilitate discussions, have the right network between investors, policymakers, entrepreneurs to find ways of effectively leverage and mobilize their respective comparative investments and advantages to the benefit of Nigeria, to the benefit of the population, but also to the benefit of business and sustainable development.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
As the event winds down, the key message from the state government to potential investors is that Kaduna State is open for business.
Thank you very much.